So I ended up in Paris, which was my first time there. And it was beautiful fall weather. And I remember from where I was staying, it was a Marriott, I believe. And the view from the hotel, I think we were on the fourth or fifth floor, I could see the Sacré-Cœur, white, beautiful, like cathedral dome across the city. And it was really magical. And I know that word gets used a lot with Paris in particular. And I think it's justified. I know for me it felt justified to feel that way. Um, I probably I'd probably been there before, and some part of me recognized that. I don't really care about past lives all that much, honestly, but I felt very much at home there. And at the same time, I was on this intense internal quest for clarity about relationship, sexuality, sexual energy. I wasn't ready to become a monk, but I definitely wasn't ready to just keep doing the same thing. I wasn't willing to keep doing the same thing. So I was meditating and I was withholding that expression, and I was walking around the streets of Paris and enjoying the sights and the food and beautiful, sophisticated women. I couldn't speak to them because I didn't speak any French other than the annoying tourist phrases that most of us probably know or can pick out in a few sentences, so I knew better than to try to impress anybody. But just the energy of the place just had this intensity, and there was this energy inside me that I felt building. It's like, when you contain a volcano and it wants to build and it's trying to release itself, and at some point something's got to give. I had no idea what to expect. I don't want to paint an expectation for anybody, but I think the universe works on some reasonable principles. If you build enough pressure, there will be some type of explosion, transformation, change. So it was about 10 days into that trip. It was a 10-day trip. It was about 7 days into that trip, and I was sleeping on the fold-down Murphy bed in the living room, and Catherine, my friend, was in the master bedroom. And I had actually masturbated a few times during that trip. I kind of couldn't take it, so it was still done with more attention than I had previously had. Not just looking at porn or something. It was like, okay, this is almost no way I'm doing this as a loving act, as a reverent act. Not almost, that really was my intention. And so that one morning I woke up, or I was awoken, and I hadn't, there was just this feeling inside of me of a kind of vibration. And it started in my groin. That's where it felt like it was centered. But it wasn't just like getting hard or getting aroused. It felt like more like an energy. And so I could feel it spreading through my stomach and then through my chest. And I imagine I was just breathing into it, and I was curious, like, what is this? And feeling it spread through me, and my whole body started to vibrate, to shake, and kind of throb like I was on the edge of this, the biggest orgasm I could ever imagine in my entire life. And yet it wasn't just a sexual feeling. It was something more intimate than that. if that makes sense. It was what I got from that was, and what I felt was, for however long that lasted, that the universe was making love to me. Hmm. And all I could do was just to cry, and just to feel the bliss and the gratitude. And I feel so much gratitude for this gift that I couldn't have done anything to deserve it. I mean, to deserve it, I was just blessed. And when it subsided, I mean, I had not taken any drugs up to that point. The only ones I've ever done have been marijuana, quite honestly, and I don't really have any interest in doing anything other than that. I've had some other experiences with that have been very amazing. But that definitely felt like a trip. And it was loving and gentle and powerful. It was, if you ever thought you needed anybody else, my dear child, let me remind you, let me show you that you really don't. It's okay. You thought you did, but this is just our way of saying you're always loved. So I had that, like in a flash, all these insights came of, wow, maybe this is what monks and nuns can experience sometimes or often, or this type of divine connection that's just, when we stop letting that energy out in a non-intentional way, that it can build and it can become something amazing. And it wants to be. I mean, creating life, it's pretty fucking amazing. That comes from me and a woman, male sperm and feminine ova, and nurtured in the womb. And there's something mystical going on there. So the potential and the effect of that lasted for several days. It was just this sense of brotherhood, sisterhood, filial love that was universal, that there was no, I didn't need to get anything and pull sexually toward anybody. It was almost like it felt wrong to feel that. That's how I sensed it for during that time. So I'll continue and conclude in the next video.